Hello, welcome to the channel. It's your favourite Scotsman here again, and today we're going to be answering how to withdraw from your RRSP and save thousands in taxes. This is one of the most overlooked planning issues when it comes to retirement, and ironically, the more successful you are in saving for retirement, the bigger the issue gets. So, if you've been diligently maximising your RRSP every year, stick around as we cover how the RRSP Meltdown strategy works and establish whether it's a strategy that might work for you. There's three phases to the life of an RRSP. The first is the accumulation phase from ages 19 to 59. The second is the retirement phase from ages 60 to 79. And the last is the legacy phase from age 80 onwards. What is key to remember here is that on your passing, if you don't have a spouse for your RRSP or RRIF assets to roll over to, the full value of your RRSP or RRIF is taxable. And the problem we see is that most people don't look at that last phase. I don't care, I won't be here to enjoy it anyway, is a common response. Well, I get that, but I'll be willing to bet if you were to pull out your will from the safety deposit box and look at those that you've chosen as your beneficiaries of your estate, would you see the CRA listed anywhere? No, I thought not. We have to keep the end in mind. And also remember that it's not really the end, but with a little bit of forethought, you can save yourself an absolute stack in taxes. This is where the RRSP Meltdown strategy comes into play. There are three main situations when a meltdown strategy could be applied to your situation. 1. Periods of zero or very little taxable income. 2. Years where your spouse does not work. And 3. The most common one being the gap years before your pension income starts. As an example, let's say you retire at age 60 but won't start taking CPP and OAS until age 65. Before we go any further, let's paint a bit of a picture so you can get clear on what exactly is happening with a meltdown strategy. You can see pre-meltdown that you have a large ballooning RRSP balance, and then post-meltdown you have a very small or even no RRSP balance at all. Very quickly, if you haven't already done so, please give consideration to subscribing to the channel so that you don't miss another video. Now back to what you came for. I'm going to show you a quick example of what could happen when you do not apply an RRSP meltdown strategy. I've pulled up a RRIF calculator here for Jim. He's single and has a starting RRSP balance of $500,000 at age 60. We have assumed a 5% investment return, and Jim takes the minimum required withdrawal each year. You can see that even going out as far as Jim's mid to late 80s, there's still give or take $400,000 in the account. That could mean that if Jim passes anywhere from 60 to his mid to late 80s, give or take 50% or anywhere from 200 to 250,000 goes to the CRA. I'm going to post a link to this calculator in the show notes so you can have a play with it yourself and put in your own numbers. So how can you apply the RRSP meltdown strategy to your own situation and avoid the suboptimal gifting of assets to the CRA? It all comes down to controlling your taxes. I've brought up the Ontario tax rates for 2023. You can see the highlighted section in yellow. This will depend on your sources of income, but ideally you want to keep your taxable income in the lowest tax bracket if you can, although the other two tax brackets highlighted should be considered. Generally speaking, you don't want to cross over into the higher tax brackets as the benefits of a meltdown strategy start to diminish. Another way to look at it is very simple, and it's why you contributed to an RRSP in the first place. Ideally, you contributed when you were in a high tax rate and then looked to withdraw when you were in a lower tax rate. So there you have it. This is the RRSP meltdown in a nutshell. By carefully planning your withdrawals and considering your taxable income, you can ensure that your hard-earned savings benefit you and your loved ones rather than ending up in the hands of the CRA. If you enjoyed today's video, please consider giving us a thumbs up, and if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, and don't forget, a good financial plan understands your goals, but a great one knows the motivations behind them.